Good evening, everyone, and welcome to tonight's live stream of our homebrew D&D campaign, The Darkness of Amon'Gul, a high fantasy campaign set in the continent of Creydor. We are the Conduits of Chaos, a group of D&D and gaming enthusiasts from Wales, and in tonight's episode, we'll rejoin our adventurers as they explore the colourful and intriguing City of Fortunes deep within Jortheimbor, or the elemental plane of Earth. But first, just a quick thank you to everyone for who's been watching our videos so far. If you are new to the channel or just tuning in, please check out all of our past videos available on our Twitch and YouTube channels. Links are in the channel description, and if you like what you see, please consider hitting that subscribe button while you're there. So, before we go into last session's recap and into tonight's action, let's head over to the table. Are we ready for some more shopping adventurers, Cathbad and Grizz?
Yeah.
At the right price.
Yeah, I think I want to take skills in negotiation first opportunity I get. I'm going to go to a seminar and learn how to do deals.
Like mask negotiations, like purely just on masks or love potions or whatever it was? Just
I mean, if I've got to write a paper at the end of it, I'll probably do that about masks, yeah, but, you know.
How to avoid tourist traps as well.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you might get a lot of uptake in this city if you take that on. Might be a good little revenue earner.
Yeah, should we start making magic items? Because apparently other people can't, right? So
Yeah, we need the revenue if we're going to buy anything.
I heard you were disappointed with the shop.
very disappointed with the shop. The prices were outrageous. I was prepared to skim a little bit of money off of our big pile, which is in the bag of holding, but I wasn't willing to spend thousands of it.
Absolute cheapskates. Don't have any of it. Give you a variety of items. Yes. Okay. Well, yeah, appreciate you went there the last session, Olga. So welcome back tonight. I have got the usual recap, so hopefully that'll cover most of what we missed. But please do fill Olga in if we have missed anything. So,
Please.
yeah, you started the last session having just arrived in the City of Fortunes, captivated by the splendor and vibrant colors of the rare veins of gemstones that lit up the city around you. In the hustle and bustle of a vibrant market surrounding you, could hear and see merchants selling goods from all around. Mixed with the sounds of wagons and cracked whips as you started to get a better sense of the city's dreary way of life, watching slave labor passing by as they head to and from the mines around the city. Weary of time on Lovak's invisibility and bugbears being unusual on this plane, Graham reluctantly offered to take him directly to meet with a member of the Resistance to gather their approval. Following some comments, however, I think there was something about eating people, Graham kindly offered to take another with Lovak. So Drent volunteered after some discussion, while the rest of the party consisted of Olga, Grizz and Cathbad explored the delights of the city, meeting with some delightful merchants selling an array of magical gemstones, silks, rugs, and of course some delicious crispy crismals, which you had no idea what they were, which did bring a bit of unwanted attention, so you quickly scuttled off. Meanwhile, a mysterious Broderson had slipped away from both of the groups and cautiously followed Drent and Lovak to a building in the Sapphire Quarter. Both Lovak and Broderson had observed some hidden markings inscribed into some of the buildings on their way, which they also noticed outside of the building, which turned turned out to be a safe house for the Resistance. As Lovak and Drent headed into the building, Broderson observed some unusual activity in another building in sight of the safe house and opted to scout the area from a nearby rooftop. Inside, Drent and Lovak met with a member of the Resistance, a rather angry dwarf named Ragnik Hellfist. Angry at Gram for bringing you to such an important safe house, seemingly a store for weapons and supplies that the Resistance had been gathering. You were quickly able to convince him, however, after Drent displayed some magical skills, that and a clumsy Lovak falling over some armor as his invisibility just dissipated from him. But he was impressed nevertheless, because magic is unfamiliar in this place. Meanwhile, back at the market, Cathbad, looking for a potion store, seemed to find all but that. After saddlebacks, dragon eggs, and finely crafted bells, you finally found a store called Love Potions. But not before Grizz was lured into a store selling intriguing and magical porcelain masks, which, whilst tempted by the mysterious trader, you found the cost too high and ended up being chased out by a nasty old hag. As you moved next door to the Love Potion store, everything seemed just equally somewhat confusing. Unable to find a straight-up health potion, Cathbad found himself purchasing liquid bread, which he was told had magical healing properties when poured over bread. And he thought, that's one for Broderson. But slightly dismayed at your shopping adventure, and a feeling probably as hard worked as the slave labour around you, you headed off to the Amaratha Quarter and to the Slavers Tavern as mentioned by Gram. Meanwhile, Drent and Lovak had made traction with Ragnik, who turned out to be second in command of the Resistance. You also met Nastel Orfeast, the Resistance food and goods supplier, fronting as the Slavers Tavern Market. Slavers Tavern Master, along with Athelnik Steelmite, a local forger who had been producing weapons to arm the Resistance. After some drinks and light conversation, you headed out to meet the rest of the group at the Slavers Tavern. Broderson, however, still perched upon a rooftop, sort of observed patrols crossing over the bridge that had linked the Bloodstone Quarter to the Sapphire Quarter, and actually observed one of the patrols come through the sort of gates to the bridge, past the local auctioneer's pub, and stop to speak to somebody. Someone you took an interest and note of, a human no less. Following that, Broderson noticed the others head out and started to follow through the streets until they entered the Slavers Tavern. Inside, as Cathbad, Olga and Grizz were once again torn by the delightful and mysterious drinks that Creydor have to offer, turned down a numb tongue and opted for a foreign craft, an aerated ale from the elemental plane of air. But in came Gram, Lovak and Drent at that time, and after some words with a dwarven bar lady, asked that you stagger your way downstairs discreetly and give a secret knock on the door, which you obviously did super successfully, and with this you did finally make your way in, and this is where you met the Resistance and their leader Thurgrun Hellbrow, and that is where we'll pick up tonight's session. Broderson, having split from the group, finds himself wandering the streets of the Amaratha Quarter, blended in with the local population, but alone in a strange and unfamiliar place. The rest of the group find yourselves at the bottom of the Slavers Tavern, having just been introduced to a large muscular dwarf with a long beard braided in two and a large tattoo around his neck that continued into his upper chest. He greets you and welcomes you to the Resistance. Hi. Welcome. As he gives a nod to you all, and Gram and Ragnik beside you. Who be you, fine souls, then? Gram and Ragnik will not bring ye here without good meaning. So who are ye?
Really should get a good name for ourselves. We are potential allies.
Are we the conduits of chaos yet or no?
I'm okay with that. I just didn't know if that's what we were called.
I tried
It
doing
doesn't
this.
sound very go team heroes.
Novak and the Henderson.
It's going in the book.
Yeah, we'll have a think about that over a beer, right?
We haven't got a team name yet, but we're working on it. And also we're allies, maybe.
Well, I wasn't thinking about my name. I was just, who are ye? I mean, I've introduced myself, but yourselves?
Oh, sorry. I'm Olga.
I'm Grizz. I'm kind of a big deal.
I think that may be his last name. Grizz, I'm kind of a big deal.
First roll of the game. Can you give me a persuasion check, please?
Oh, for that? I was just trying to break the ice. 4.
So he gives you a sort of a look and sort of up and down. All right, and you? As he looks over to Drent.
I'm Drent Winsong. I'm the one who spoke to Hellfist and Grom previously, before they brought us all here.
Oy, you must have made him an impression.
I have a nice face. People don't generally want to punch.
Give me a
You
persuasion
have
check.
to. You need a persuasion check for that one, surely.
Somebody else say something before we ruin this.
90?
Hey.
I was about to say, hi, Gram, did you bring him here for entertainment? These lot are funny. But aye, you're quite handsome for a human.
Not as handsome as Lovak here, and I point to Lovak.
Nice to meet you. Cam doesn't look now. By the way.
Oh no.
I thought it froze.
Right. Eat.
You just have to take his word for this, handsome.
Yeah. Although he is now looking at you with a bit of. And what are ye? I've not seen one of your kind around here before.
That's Broderson. Oh, Broderson's not with us. Sorry.
Aye, so you must be Broderson then, as he points to Cathbad.
No. My name is Cathbad. We're I want to say merry band of adventurers, but it's been a slog getting here, so maybe not so merry. Especially the shops you have in this place.
Well, I understand, but also it's hard to be merry in this place. There's so much pain and suffering.
Well, that's part of why we're here, really. We think we might be able to help you in that respect.
Well, that's the kind of conversation I like. Come on, let's not stand by the door. let's get you some drinks and some food. As he ushers off people to bring you some drinks. So, come on then. Tell me all about you. How have you all ended up in this place? Something tells me you're not from here. You look too clean.
Thank you.
He looks at you and is not so sure. I'm still not sure on that one yet.
Well, it all started. We were searching for the seat of the gods. Don't know if you've heard of it.
The seat of the gods?
I think that's what it was, by the way. That's why we went up the mountain. Is that what it was called?
Are you asking?
I don't think I was
Asking
there
my,
then.
sorry,
Asking
just so I
me.
was like, yeah.
Portal.
It's been a long time since we was looking for it.
Yeah, I don't think it was ever called the seat of the gods, but you just
No.
know it was a something related to the gods.
Yeah.
The pathway to the gods, something like that. Yeah. There was nothing specifics in the text that you've been given.
So let's just say we're from somewhere that's very far away, but it didn't take us long to travel here.
A different plane.
We hit this. There was a dragon, and then there was a crystal, and then I think somebody hit it, and then we were here.
Fighting an elemental.
It's difficult to understand how we got here, let alone explain it. Really, we've just been tumbling from one tricky scenario to another, and here we are.
We should be dead.
Yeah, we could have died many times over, but
Well, we are good at what we do.
yeah,
Which is staying alive.
fate's been smiling upon us.
The entire time you're talking, he's just in a little bit of that. Gram, you either brought me someone or a group of people who are completely bonkers, or speaking the truth, because that is one hell of a story.
Can we be both at the same time?
Well,
It's
yeah.
always in the middle.
Yeah.
I mean, who isn't of sound mind in this place? I can't argue with that one. From which plane then have you come?
What was it called?
Material one?
Material. What was the name of it?
Well, we,
Creydor.
Creydor, yeah.
Oh, Creydor.
Yeah, we.
I see. So you would have seen some of the fine gemstones. There is some lucrative trade that is made within Creydor from this place.
Yeah.
I can't remember seeing
saw
any
them.
gems.
Yeah, we've mainly been in the back end of nowhere for months
Yeah,
on end.
we've
It's
been in
been
a cave a lot.
yeah. And we were with some druids. No offense, Cuthbert.
And yeah,
before
caves
that,
have
and
no
they,
gems.
I mean, they're not likely to have gems.
These
Yeah.
this didn't have gems. It had
Aye,
lots
what a
of.
boring caves you have got.
No, it had some great rocks. Man. It had some great rocks.
I'd never even seen a gem until we went on this quest.
I
Yeah.
mean, I do like rocks, so I'm not going to, complain at rocks. I mean, if there is an abundance of rocks, you're a very lucky group. Tell me more about these rocks.
they sometimes turn into things.
They turn
Mhm.
into
Oh, eh?
nasties. Sometimes they are big. Sometimes they're a bit smaller.
He starts rubbing his beard. Oh, go on, aye. Alright then, enough of that. You're starting to make me blush. From the material plane. But, in search of a seat of the gods?
Yeah, something like that. But then Gram or Hellfist said the boar is imprisoned here or trapped here. That would be
So you know a boar?
Yeah,
Well,
he's
he
my
does.
boy. We go way back. I've got his sword and everything.
Are you the Creydor? Come to vanquish us all.
I mean, if we don't get to the bottom of what's going on over here, we might have to vanquish you all, yeah.
You've got some
I'd rather not. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not good around new people.
Understandable. Fear not.
I tend to overcompensate.
We are overly delightful here, as you can see. We're all full of chuckles and laughter.
Yeah. Thank you for the welcome.
Oh, thank you.
Aye, we to drown our sorrows in these fine ales that we are sometimes fortunate to receive from the local brewery, but from the other plains. Only the best. So, what do you know of Bor? And what actually brings you here? You said seeking for the gods, but for what purpose?
Well, we told you that some of the places in Creydor aren't great, you know, the rocks turn into monsters and, you know, it can be quite a tough place. And what we've learned is that the gods are no longer in balance and it's causing some troubles in our realm, and we're trying to set that straight.
Yeah, there's creatures coming in from the Feywild and all sorts going on. So we figured that it would bring balance back if we could restore the gods and prevent a calamity from engulfing our world.
Bor seems to have done us a few favors along our journey, and feels like we've come to the right place at the right time. Well,
yeah.
You've spoken to our friend Grizz here.
Well, I hope it is. Otherwise, this is going to be a chapter of my life. They'll torment me.
His power healed some of us from a deadly curse that we were under.
That seems like a long time ago.
Yeah.
Well,
still mentally scarred by it.
I am shocked to hear this. For generations we've been under the understanding that Bor has been shackled away by the vile Deo that now rule this place. But if he has spoken to you, this perhaps is not the case. Are you sure?
Maybe it's a cry for help.
Yeah, maybe he's able to act in a very limited way.
Bor, can you hear us?
Can I attempt to pretend and say, "Yeah, I'm over here"?
Very funny. Alright, well, I'll have to take your word for it. Bor has not spoken to any of us despite fighting for his freedom, if anything, and for our own freedoms.
I think he's probably looking for some prestigious hero types.
Alright, wait a
that's
cut
a
me
bit of a
down there.
mistake, Chris. Jesus. Sorry about that. Like you said, he overcompensates.
Aye.
I'm gonna shut up now.
I think we need some more ale over here. Just so I should check though, does everybody want some ale?
Have you got any tea?
Yes.
I'll have a tea.
It's cockmoss tea. Is that alright?
Yeah. Fine, yeah.
Excellent.
When in Rome.
Is it only Lovak that finds cockmoss tea revolting, right? Yeah? Okay.
Otherwise, it's quite herbal.
Yeah.
It's just Goblins, bugbears, ogres, it just doesn't appeal to their senses, taste and smell. Alright. And if you've travelled here, you did not come through the Eye of the God?
No.
The Eye of the God.
Well,
No, we did not.
didn't we? Maybe we did.
You can't point to it, but because you're underground. But hey, the large white crystal in the center of the city.
Ah,
No, we did not.
No,
not that one.
no.
We came through a different one though. The one in the dragon, was that not similar?
There was
In the dragon's cave?
Yeah, but that was in our plane. We came through to just a fiery cave, right?
Yeah,
There
but it
was
wasn't
no
the
crystal in
exact
there, was
one,
there?
but it's the same kind of looking.
Ah, yeah,
crystal.
yeah, yeah. It looks
Another
exactly like that.
portal?
Yeah, yeah.
In this place?
Well, the portal took us somewhere quite away from here, and we found our way here sort of by mistake, but or just
The
more
portal
luck
wasn't
than
on this
judgment.
plane, though, was it?
No, but when we came through to this plane, if you remember, as we look back, we could see him scowling. Is that right, Mike?
Oh, in the crystal.
Yeah. So I would assume the crystal was there with us,
Right.
or another
Right.
copy of it or something would have been there.
Ah, fair enough. Yeah, I couldn't remember if there was one when we landed. Okay.
Yeah, so if you recall back to that session, I believe it was Grizz used his sword and it activated the crystal as you all touched it and you appeared on the other side. But as you peered back through the crystal, you could see flashing remnants of Mozor thrashing around, scowling, as I believe Drent threw some sort of cutting wound, verbal wound to him on your way out.
See you later, sucker.
Aye, another pathway. That is very intriguing. We thought there was but one in this place.
Do you travel through those often? Because
Aye, but a few of us have travelled through these. And Gram pitches up. Aye, I told you. I travelled through those when I was in my earlier years of working for the Dale. I was smuggling gemstones as part of our usual trade into the other planes.
Right, because we came through one when the sort of the portal was charged by our friend Sword here, but you know, if we can get those working, and that might be our way out of here if you can help us to use that portal.
It is just
Aye.
a small thing of dealing with the dragon and the elemental on the other side.
Oh, aye.
No, aside from that.
I mean, do we know if we went through this one that we'd end up in the same place?
Who knows?
That's the thing. Maybe these guys can help us find out how to where it's going to
Well,
end us at.
And
Yeah,
we
but we'd
should
have
be
the-
helping them first.
We'd have the element of surprise on the dragon this time, though, wouldn't we?
Yeah.
We take like 20 or 200 dwarves with us.
Yeah. Yeah. No, we're gonna. Oh god. Yeah. We've agreed we'll help them first.
Aye, the Eye of the Gods, or this one, does travel to other planes. So they are capable of traveling to other locations. Very interesting. And you said your sword?
Yeah.
May I see it?
With your eyes.
Of course, of course. Such a friendly fellow you are.
Trust me, by the time we leave, you'll think I'm absolutely adorable.
Hi.
And I unsheath Boar's light and hold it out in two hands in front of me.
It is but a hilt. A very finely decorated hilt, but there's no sword.
Yeah? What do you mean it's just a hilt? What have you done to my sword?
Where is the blade?
I pulled it out of his sheath, like I said.
It's Boar's light, though, isn't it?
Yeah. I've got. Oh, yes, of course. Yeah, sorry, I wasn't picking up what you were putting down there. Yeah. So, okay. So.
Stop playing.
I
incantation.
I look up to the sky and I say, "Boar's light from within."
That phrase that I can remember as well.
Yeah, absolutely. It's my catchphrase. And then it glows, and in this dark, dank underground, it glows even more than normal, right?
Oh wow! God, Boar does bless you.
Yeah, I'm fundamentally good.
Oh, Boar be upon ye! You are the saviors. You're the saviors that we've been waiting for so long.
Oh, you know this is going to be the ruin for me and my ego. You do know that.
Yes, I was about to say.
All hail Boar's followers! As he kneels down before you.
Oh, no way.
Oh, this is gonna go so wrong.
Bless you, my child. Please stand.
Please guide us with your wisdom.
For wisdom, I usually look to Cathbad, really. Cathbad is the wisest of us. I'm the fastest and most dexterous of us.
As he looks to Cathbad.
Well, and I lean towards Drent and say, don't tell them about the dragon slaying, otherwise they'll really go mad.
Too late.
Oh god.
You what? A dragon? Slay? You've killed a beast.
Look, all you've got to know about us is,
I don't think these are as professional as we thought they were. Maybe we should go find a different resistance that actually.
Yeah, they were they were a lot more hardcore. Hardcore. A session or two ago, weren't they? They're a bit more fawning now.
Aye, don't get me wrong. I'm just shocked at some of these revelations and these stories. I mean, we fought giants and other various creatures of this plane. Have you ever met a Zoran?
No.
Aye.
Was that one at the gate, a Zorg?
They're a vile creature. It's hard to explain, but they devour the earth around them. They're like flappy faces, with like sharp teeth.
I reckon Lovek could take one on.
We fought similar, for sure. And we're still here.
Yeah. That's one way to look at it.
Here being a different dimension, but technically we're here.
You truly are powerful.
So about free and ball.
Well, perhaps that is why you're here. How can we help?
Oh, we thought you knew how to free ball.
What do you want to do? What do you want us to do?
That is our goal, to free Boar.
Okay.
Then let's do it.
But we do not have the strength. We have amassed a great following. There is over 100 of us.
Well, now you've got
However,
literally the
we cannot
pump of ball.
defeat the Deo's magics. But if you have magics, perhaps that you can defeat the Deo.
Oh,
Olga's got loads of magic. If you think of us as a
I got a new
group,
one.
Yeah, if you think of us as a group, we cover every base that you could possibly want, I think.
Except meat shields.
Yeah, that's what your people will be for. I mean,
God.
we've even brought a chef, but we don't know where he's gone.
Probably cooking somewhere.
I'm a little bit concerned that we haven't seen Broderson yet.
Yeah, we got one more.
Aye, well, go on. I sent somebody out. I sent somebody out to go look for Broderson. I'm not 100% sure what he looks like though.
Got a big chef's hat.
Yeah, you can't miss him.
He's carrying a big chopper.
Mm.
On that note, we'll flip over to Broderson, who is currently outside of the sort of tavern area within the Amaratha Quarter. So, for you, do you want to give me a perception check, please? To start you off.
Yes. Eight.
An 8. So yeah, you've been very focused on watching the group ahead of you, so you've seen them wander off into the tavern. The rest of the city around you, as I mentioned previously, is quite busy at all hours that you've observed so far. I mean, there's no way to tell what is day through night here. There's no sunlight to guide you, so there's just a constant light and flow of traffic to and from the city. So very much in this quarter you sense a similar type of feel. There's various traders within the streets. There's the tavern in front of you, and general folk going around and going about their day, some looking more scrupulous than others. But you do notice there's less slavers and slaves in this general vicinity.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What kind of people are they if they're not slaves or slavers?
Said just general townfolk mixed between merchants, people transporting goods to and from various locations.
Okay.
Nothing overly wild or outrageous is probably what I'm getting at.
So we're going to keep an eye toward the inn, and not sort of stray too far away from there. So I want to be within 2 or 3 minutes of that location, and be able to get back there quickly if I need to.
Okay, I'll flip over to the map screen. Is there anything that you're particularly interested in around here? So they've just gone into the tavern, which is located there. So you find yourself having just sort of wandered into this area, yeah? Which is quite a little bit more bustly because it seems to be a central market sort of square. Lots of trade flowing to and from. Even though you rolled an 8, you can see there is a little bit of heavier merchant traffic to your north. So along the route there appears to be some wagons of goods being transported towards the palace.
Is there anything of particular note around this area?
So as you're looking over there, that's where you're seeing the sort of goods coming from and travelling to and up the palace. So it's not coming up the road you're on right now. It appears to be coming from this general direction.
Okay. Are there any guards or anything else of note that's happening in that direction?
you see, so you see the little sort of square building there. There, you do observe a small guard post. So it's only manned by one dwarf.
Okay. That is it from me. So I'm gonna just loiter around, try and blend into the background a little bit, and keep an eye on both the inn where my comrades are, as well as the guard post.
Okay. So we'll come back to the group then. Yes, you started to familiarise yourself with Thurgrun. Continued having your conversations. He's very intrigued about how you've got here, and obviously now the power that you appear to wield that could be of use to the Resistance. His shock dissipates. I think all of that information, and just information that was wild outside of his dreams and thought process, starts to calm down. So yeah, he just picks back up the conversation. Well, obviously you've got the muscle, but we've got the know-how, I guess. We know of the city's defenses. We know how we believe that they draw their strength. So perhaps we can find a way to take them down together.
That would be good. Our plans to use stealth don't tend to go too well, so if you know the lay of the land, that would be great.
Aye.
What's in the palace?
Good question there, Trent. Well, I've just realised it's in the wrong portrait, so let's move you back. The palace. That's where they all live. That's where they reside. That's where they spread their brutality and viciousness as they hoard their wealth, their power, and their lust for the jacinths, the rarest of material in all of Yodtaimbor.
Is that how we take them down then? Do we need to get in there and kill them? Or is your plan more subtle?
Well, perhaps you've not seen much of the city yet, but if we were to go to the Jacinth's palace and strike at the front gates, we would not survive. There are ballistae and too many guards. They would cut us down with ease. So I do feel we have to take a more cautious approach.
How do we weaken them first?
Another very good question there, Grayson.
You're warming to me, aren't you?
You've come out of your element there, because that is a fantastic question. We have learned that the Deo harness and channel their strength from the crystals that hover far above the city. Perhaps if we were able to coordinate an attack, infiltrate the palace, whilst simultaneously bringing down the crystals where they channel their energy, then perhaps perhaps we could bring them down.
I want to go on the palace mission. I want to see all the cool stuff.
Cathbad, I know you're the one who's, often the most pragmatic and sensible of us, I feel. Do you think that sounds like a risky plan?
I think we're going to have to take risks at this point. There's no walking out of this place, is there? I think we're going to have to go along with the resistance, and I'm confident that that's going to be the route we need to take to get to where we need to go. As much as I'm not looking forward to fighting some of these creatures that they've described, I think we're going to have to.
That confirms what I was
Yeah.
wondering. And if you think it's a good idea, what about the fact that Lovac can't blend in around you? I mean, how are we going to manage that, Lovac?
Can we get him a disguise?
I think I'm wearing a cloak, right?
He's dressed as one of the guards, right?
Oh, right, yeah, you got a disguise cloak. Yeah.
Suit of armor or whatever it was.
Yeah,
It's not a very good
cloak.
one, but yeah, it's done the trick to get you where you are.
We're doing a push. We've got some. We have our means to hide ourselves, or at least cover ourselves somehow.
Stick to the shadows. as
Yeah.
you normally do.
We can.
That's a
sneak.
good point. Yeah.
The way home is in the palace too, right?
The Eye of the God. Aye,
Yes, in
we
the
must
cen-
make our way into the Jason's palace and through the defences, but once we're in, it should be easier to escape.
Olga, I know you choose the the magic you use. Have you got much that you can do in terms of distractions and things?
You're on mute. Oh.
I'm not.
Oh no, sorry. I thought you were talking.
I'm just really quiet. Sorry. Let's see what I've got. In terms of distractions, I can put people to sleep. I can turn you into a gas.
Please don't.
I can make people blind, and I've also recently got polymorph, so I can turn things into other things, which can distract things.
Can that be things that are? Can that be people? Can you turn people into other things?
Yeah, I think so. That's what they told me before the session. I think so.
Session.
Okay. Before we got to town. Yeah. Okay, that could come in useful, right?
Would Thorgrim's men not be the ideal people to create a big distraction for us, as they know the land? And then we could subtly get into the palace.
And as you're all deliberating this, Graham speaks up. Aye, there's it's the slavers' auction tomorrow, aye? In the palace. Perhaps that could be our way in.
We get to dress up as slavers.
And
Are we going to do the classic Lovac is our prisoner / slave?
He looks over to you. It's like, do you want to show him? And he kind of alluding with his hands. The gemstones.
What are you doing with the gemstone?
Gemstones.
I got the gemstones in the bag of holding.
But you've shown Graham. Graham's seen them.
Okay. So Cathbad had one, and I think Lovac had the other one. Or Olga and Lovac.
I
I
have
think I got two.
Oh, you had them both. I know Lovac had the one that I was.
I'll get a star ruby from before. I think that was the what Olga's got, right?
Yeah.
Holding Dread's gem, Olga's gem, my backpack.
Okay, Lovak's got both then.
So, what are we thinking? We pose as people who are looking to buy people, and use that as currency, or?
Well, that and your fine Cathbad there has just mentioned Lovak. He's an unusual creature. He, as a slave, looks very powerful. Might achieve good coin. But a lot of interest, I would imagine.
I mean, if Lovak's happy to lower his dignity to that, then
Yeah, I was gonna say I want to hear what Lovak thinks about that plan.
I'm used to making goblins be the slaves.
So you could probably roleplay being a slave at auction better than most, then, right?
Yeah.
we'll do the classic of we'll tie your hands up, but just loose enough that you can pull them out right at the opportune moment.
You just become Chewbacca.
Yeah.
Exactly what was going through my mind.
That's good because Dread had a queasy look in his face when they mentioned, selling those really cool gems.
Aye. But perhaps if there's a charismatic character among you, you might find it easier to talk the guards with, I don't know, something intriguing like Lovak or the crystals themselves. You do not look... We'll have to dress you for the part, but without something to sway the guards, I think we would struggle to get you into the palace.
Maybe the small gem then.
Old.
I mean, if it all goes wrong, I'd rather we sold a gem and got some gold or whatever for it, rather than if it all goes wrong and we end up selling Lovak and then we have to go and on a whole adventure just to get Lovak back.
Lovak could be my bodyguard if we're going to charm our way in.
Aye. An unusual bodyguard.
What are you going to do while Lovak's charming everyone, though, Drench?
Oh, I'll be eating the babies.
The what?
Oh, just a joke between us, that's all.
Yeah, it's just an inside joke. And you're not inside yet.
I think you have a good plan here. We put the gems in auction. Lovak and the rest of them come as a bodyguard. Maybe
Do some of us can I be a bidder? Can I be a fake bidder to bid up the price?
That's a fantastic idea.
I've always wanted to do that ever since I used to see my family at auctions when I was a kid. We weren't buying people, though. I'll make that very clear.
I thought you were selling your family then.
No. No, when we were, buying jewelry and property and things like that.
I've got a couple between us. We've got some lower level gemstones, right? Not the main two that. Or are they not going to go for anything in this place? I've got an emerald, for example. And I think we mentioned a star ruby. Could we just use those ones? Or does it have to be the...
I can take a look at them if you like. If you're openly saying this.
Yeah, so I'll just dig my emerald out of my backpack and show it to Gram and the other guy whose name I forget, sorry.
Gram.
Thorgrin.
Pulls out a little eye receptacle thing.
Of course.
To look down at
Just happens to have.
the gemstone. Oh, he's a prospector, He starts to look at the gem. Aye. A fine emerald, but not wholly worthy of this place.
So it's going to have to be the big boys.
I have a magic item that I no longer require. But
Interesting.
His eyes open up. A magical item? Does it speak with Boar?
No. Whip of golden sands. It's a whip. I'll show you. It doesn't say it cost. Like, I don't know how much it has to be.
But magic stuff's really rare, isn't it? I've got an electric necklace. It's got 6 beads. I presume it means 6 uses.
All of this magic. All right, you're overwhelming me again. Aye. You will be questioned on how you've come to such a place. Usually the guards at the Eye of the Gods takes away such weapons. I would
Okay,
keep those
so-
discreet.
So, are we? I mean, look, you know, we don't need big heavy gems. We need gold. Gold's universal. Gold's accepted everywhere, right?
Plus, we need to pay our cut to the guild when they finally catch up with us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, about that.
Forgot about that.
Let's go rogue.
Let's go rogue.
But we can set up our own guild by the time we sell these, right?
Yeah, it's been so long. We're not even in their plane anymore.
We could set up our own guild here. Once everyone's free and this is like a place of like, we set up our own guild and, you know.
Are you trying to make out what goes on a different plane stays in a different plane?
I think so. Yeah. Thanks for putting that. Thanks for putting that succinctly and clearly, Trent.
You need to check the contract when you get back to the plane at Creydor, right? Yeah, exactly. Cool. So, as you start to deliberate there between you, so have a little think now about potential ways, and you're discussing this with Gram and Thugran. So I'll come back to Broderson, who's just been acutely observing the surroundings around, keeping an eye on the tavern area and the general streets. And as can you give me a 1d4, please?
I can indeed. Oh,
Yeah, I've noticed.
You are now dead.
No, I've noticed that. It might be the UI that I've got is popping up with image display issues. So if I switch to that, might be because of the UI I've got on there. So never mind, sort it out later. So you rolled a 4. Yes. So yeah, you've been observing for quite a while now, and you do notice carts continuing to the north to travel up towards the palace, as some of the carts sort of going from here, they're heading up towards the main street, towards the palace.
Mhm.
You notice that the guards are very vigilant at this point, keeping an eye on the surrounds. And as you've continued to observe, you do notice that there's multiple checkpoints.
Mhm.
So the area is quite secure. It seems, as these goods are being transported. Meanwhile, as you've continued to keep an eye on the tavern, you notice a perception check, please.
13.
Okay, that's good enough. You notice a familiar face. So as you were observing from the rooftops, back down in the Sapphire Quarter, you notice the patrols speak to somebody outside the Auctioneer's Tavern.
Auctioneers or slavers?
The Auctioneers, because you're in the Slavers.
Okay.
So
Auctioneer's
the
Tavern.
Auctioneers is the tavern in the Sapphire Quarter.
Yeah.
So you notice that same human that you'd seen previously. Sort of dressed in sort of whitish, and what you can tell actually is almost whitish sort of leather, but it's actually, with the lights of the city around, has turned green, so obviously seems to be a popular colour around you, because you start to notice other people wearing white, because the colour changes, you would imagine, depending on the quarter that you're in, so it's great for fashion around you. So you notice some sort of whitish looking leather breastplate and across their arms, and a cloak over their back, but not hooded. And you can see that it's got short, sort of blonde hair, slightly spiked on the front, as though he uses some sort of, I don't know, chrismal juice or something to keep it stuck up. So I had to come up with the on the spot reference there. So I went with that. That's fine. So yeah, they seems to approach the tavern, and you see some guards not far behind, and he seems to turn back to them to wave into this area.
What?
That's it.
What do the guards do?
So just down the road, it's a little bit further down here, you do see a group of 2 or 3 dwarves, 3 dwarves, sorry, start to make their way up the street towards this human.
Okay, I'm gonna keep watching things unfold for the time being.
Okay. As you continue to watch, the guards come up to the human and seems to have a brief conversation, and seems to hand off, gesturing that there is something in this area. As you see, one of the dwarfs head up a little bit north, one of the heads off to the west, and another heads towards the tavern entrance.
Okay. Where does the human go?
He sticks with the dwarf heading towards the tavern entrance.
Okay. I'd like to stay maybe about 20 feet behind them. And follow them.
Okay. The 2 heading into the tavern, yeah?
Yes, but staying behind.
Okay, they head into the tavern.
Okay. Could you describe the layout of the outside of the tavern? Is there any outbuilding attached? Is there an upper floor? What's the building made out of?
Yeah, so similar to other buildings that you've seen, generally made of stone, has some wooden rafters, and then some slate-like obsidian rock again, covering the top of the building. They don't get much rain here, so it's more around covering from any dust that might enter the city. But again, air seems generally clean here. But what you see is almost a triangular shape tavern. The description I gave in the last session of the interior is there's an L-shaped bar in there. So you kind of got that sense that it's potentially an open building in the inside, but from the outside, yeah, it's got got several windows, throughout the exterior. And then there is a building towards the rear and a... No, at this point you can't see anything more than that.
And sorry, did you say there's a window in the upper floor?
Yes.
So I'd like to climb up to the window on the upper floor, just using any sort of exterior footholds, but speed is the priority rather than staying as quiet as possible.
So there are people around.
Are there any guards around?
So part of this tavern is concealed, and I'll help you out here because I'm giving you a perfect description. Part of the tavern is concealed by another sort of merchant vendor. So you can probably see the shape here, right?
Mm.
So there is a potential little alleyway that you could go into, probably where storage and old kegs and stuff are tossed for reclamation.
Okay, so I'll eye up the alley. Can I see a sort of relatively easy route up to the upper floor?
Perception check, please. Now that you moved into the alley.
9.
9. You don't see a particularly easy way, but the nature of the stone here gives easy grooves to sort of cling on to, because it protrudes from, it's not like a brick house here, it's old stone, so you've got easy foot and hand holds into the brick that protrudes from where it's being built.
Okay. So I'll climb up, staying as quiet as possible.
Give me a stealth check as well then, please.
Uh, 25.
Yeah, you seem to make it up to the rooftop and to the window without being seen.
Perfect. And does that give me a view down into the bar?
So as you peer through the window, there is an upstairs sitting area, but it seems to be fairly quiet at this point in time. You don't see anybody.
So this is another level rather than just being a set of rafters to the building.
Yeah, so you're now imagining there is like a small seating area at the top that may be for private events, these kind of things.
Oh, okay. Is there is there any kind of mezzanine or anything where I might be able to see down into the...
So within there, you do see that there isn't anybody, but you see that there is a stairway that goes down into the main bar area, so you can just see through some of the I don't know the name of the things between the banisters, but spindles. You can see between the spindles down to the sort of bar area below, but it's very hard to see because your vision's obscured.
Okay. I'll sit, or stand rather, at the ready at the top of the stairs and listen very intently to what is going on downstairs. I'd like to listen out for my comrades' voices, first of all.
Cool. Give me another perception check, please.
13.
So as you're specifically listening out for familiar voices, you can't hear any. Doesn't seem to be anything coming through other than the general, the loudness of the tavern. Some people merry, some people just having conversations, just a general ambience. But you do hear some slightly raised voices asking about some people who had not long ago entered the tavern.
Okay. I'll continue to listen in, and listen for the situation unfolding.
Okay. Just thinking, do we... just looking at the time. It is past, so let's take a mid-session break there, and we can come back to the action after the break. So if we all take a 5-minute break back around 25 to,
Okay.
we can pick up the rest of the story.
Perfect.
Cool.
See you in a bit.
Sounds good.
Thanks, everyone.
Oh, catch you a sec.
So, yeah, welcome back, everyone. So we've just had our break and we'll rejoin our adventurers as half of them are still in the Slavers' Tavern basement having a conversation with the Resistance leader, whilst Broderson has made his way to the top of the Slavers' Tavern roof, where he is now keeping a close eye over some guards who have seemingly been directed there by a human who he had observed earlier in the Sapphire Quarter as the as Drent and Lovac had entered the Resistance hideout that was there, or safe house. So we'll rejoin with Broderson, who is still keeping an eye over the tavern. But before I do that, I'm just going to switch all the portraits background because a couple of us have managed to find our cameras working again after a restart. And bless you there, Olga. There we go. I think we're good on the overlay. So perfect. Yeah, so we'll rejoin Broderson as he is keeping an eye at the top of the tavern, where one of the guards who's gone in there with a human. Can you roll me a perception check, please?
Twelve.
12. Has started to question the dwarven barmaid who is there around these folk who had previously come into the tavern. You can just make out some mumbles. The window is closed, so you're having to sort of press your ear to the window unless you would like to open it or attempt to open it.
I'll keep my ear pressed.
Okay. Yeah, you can hear sort of mumbles of like, where did they go? And the bar lady seems to be quite calmly just saying they went into the tavern. I think they might have left. But the human who's with the guard doesn't seem to believe this, and tells the guard to challenge a little bit more. Okay. At this point, the guard starts to challenge and seems to get a little bit angry and actually drags the bar lady over the bar and starts to force her out of the building. but this is all you can see as they start to exit towards the door. But you see sort of people in the general mood that you can see just from the tables that you can, and bear in mind you can't see a lot of tables. They're all like a little bit shocked, but carry on with their drinks.
Two seconds. I'm just reminding myself what my alignment is. There's alignment on D&D Beyond.
Question.
Last tabs.
It sounded like description or something. I can't remember. I don't pay much. I don't pay much attention to what it says on that piece of paper.
It's on description.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
You are chaotic good.
I am. Okay. So I'm gonna edge over to the window and listen out to see if I can hear what the guard is saying to the barmaid after she's been taken outside.
Okay, yeah. So, as you sort of press your ear around off the window and into the street, you can hear the door thud open as, she's just screaming, "Unhand me, you as she's getting forced out into the street, and one of the guards that run off to the west comes back, and both of them start to grab her and say, "Right, you're coming with us," as they start to move her away from the area and in towards the back streets of the city.
Gonna move back to the stairs and walk downstairs into the bar. Just very calmly, as though I'm, blending in.
Okay. Yeah, give me one more perception check, please.
5.
So yeah, you just get the sense that everybody is like carrying on with their drinks, like don't want to be the next person that gets picked up. Actually, like a few people look over to you briefly and then look back, afraid that you might be a guard coming in to get them or something similar. So there's a sense of fear.
Okay.
But nobody's specifically looking at you. Also, sorry, just to make it absolutely clear, the human that was with the dwarf has come out with them as well.
Okay.
Sorry, just in case.
Any of my fellow adventurers?
As you look around, you get visibility on most tables. You can see, though, as you look around the L-shaped bar, as it's described, lots of adornments made of wood. The internal structure seems to be adorned with wood and stuff, and brick in between. Old style, cottage style, I guess. But you can't see any of your group. You do see the stairs that goes up. Just off the bar, to the sort of southern end of the building. And you also see that there is steps that go down into a basement area.
Are there any other bar staff?
So there is another server, a male dwarf who had been collecting the sort of cups from the tables at the time. He's just come back to the bar.
So I'll order a drink.
Hi, what can I get for you then? Sorry about the
For me, please.
commotion. What, sorry?
Ale.
An ale? Is that an ale from the local or an ale from the other planes? Yes, I'm fine to offer.
Local will be fine.
Local? Aye. That's 1 silver, please.
And I'll slide the silver over the bar.
I just need to go collect some. Change the barrel from downstairs. This pump is a little bit dry. As he wanders off and goes down the steps. As you just stand at the bar. Is there anything else you'd like to do?
No, I'll just stand and just act as naturally as possible. Try and blend in with the crowd. No cares, no worries, but keeping an eye on the surroundings.
Okay. So we'll flip back to the other group. So you're all there chatting about potential plan towards quite away from the door that you were at, but as you're there chatting, you do your probably didn't come through again, although it come through perfectly on the stream, by the way, because I watched the video back. So obviously it doesn't come through in your microphone, your earphones, but the specific knock on the door.
The one knock.
Yeah, the one knock. You can hear that on the door as one of Gram gets up and goes to answer it. And he opens the door and the barman who's there sort of seems quite flustered, and he's just like, Harbat, what's wrong? As he then realizes, what happened to Giselda? As he seems to like communicate, yeah, she's been taken. And everyone seems a little bit flustered, so Gram just says to him, right, go back up, act normal, and hushes him back up. So you can only hear parts of this conversation that's going on, but yeah, you heard something about the rest of the group here. You heard something about Giselda and something happened. So yeah, as Gram hurries over, it's like, I think we're in trouble. Giselda's just been taken.
Who's Giselda?
The barmaid that you met earlier.
Why would that mean we're in trouble?
Well, she knows. She knows that we use this place.
We should get out of here then?
Probably.
I think
Where are we gonna go?
Prudent.
Should we start getting ready for a plan now, or is there somewhere else we can hide first? Or
we go back to the safe house.
Aye, we could.
Sense.
they might know about that if they're interrogating Giselda. Does she know where the safe house is?
I'm not sure why. Why did they come in here after it? And Grandram's like, hey, perhaps I should go check first. Let's not be too alarmed. This could be just the guards being typical guards. As
could be random.
Aye.
Yeah.
Aye, just carry on. I'll raise the alarm if. Just have the escape route ready. And Gram heads off as Thurgren says, aye, We got a way out the back here. So Graham heads off and heads up the stairs. It's like, this is the type of thing that we have to deal with around here. Nothing is ever safe. Sorry to alarm you.
How often do the guards usually come into the bar?
Aye, sometimes.
Somebody for questioning.
Sometimes they just do it because they need somebody else to work the mines. They have a quota.
Okay.
But
is there much overlap in skills between pulling pints and mining rocks?
aye, well, they don't typically go for the staff. It's a little bit unusual.
Don't feel right.
How long do we need to prepare for the plan to get into the palace, do you think?
Well, it's tomorrow, right?
Well, aye.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
Auction.
Okay.
The
So we have
Sleeper's auction is
like
tomorrow. So
we've got to lay low for a whole night.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
worst case scenario, we go to one of our safe houses. But we'll have to be discreet.
I think
The
this
other
is a
thing
good plan.
We might be compromised.
Gems.
The gems, aye.
Anyone know about Broderson? Could he be in danger?
That's a good point.
Maybe that's another of your party, yeah.
Just Zelda doesn't know about him, so he's probably alright. I mean, as alright as he can be.
He is out there on his own, though, isn't he?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, should we still...
Perhaps he's been captured
Or killed.
Yeah.
or killed.
Don't be too hopeful, Jan.
You wish.
Killed would be the better option, because then we cannot give up any secrets.
Session 30.
Aye. Well, hopefully Graham will uncover something. But yes, preparations for tomorrow. Aye. So we've got provisions where we can... we've got some finer clothing that some of you can wear. That'll make you seem a little bit more of a higher class. No offense. Looks at you specifically, Grace.
Oh,
You cannot blame me for having that one back on you, you cheeky devil.
yeah. Good point.
But
I don't hold a grudge for long.
Jokes aside, I think. Did we decide what are you comfortable with in terms of infiltrating the palace? Do you have somebody who feels they could talk their way through the palace guards?
I'm pretty good at that. Should be able to get past them if you give me a couple of bits of information about the town.
Aye, whatever you need. And what about Novak here?
Novak clearly has the bodyguard persona, right?
Bodyguard.
Yeah.
Bodyguard.
I think bodyguard's better than traded individual.
Aye.
Well,
The
when
questions
they see the
will
size
be
of
asked.
the gems, it'll be good, right?
But I think in a good way. It's quite domineering for a creature.
There's loads of people like Lovak on the material plane, so if it's like a trader.
That information could be useful. You tell them this when others, they'll be envious. It's a good sell point.
So I definitely want to be, bidding up the price of our stuff. So perhaps, I can be our inside person on the job. What's the word I'm looking for? The accomplice, the shill. I want to get as much money for our gems as possible.
Aye.
think that's the role you're well suited to, Grizz. And I think
I can make a scene if we need to as well, right? You know, like
Yeah.
that you can count on me for that. I can.
I was gonna say, yeah, making a scene is right in your wheelhouse, isn't it? And I think, well, I mean, I'm happy to rely on Drent to get us in, and you to do the business when we're in there. And I suppose Olga and I can keep our eye on everything that's going on and whistle up some magic if we need to.
Do you think that you two could get behind the scenes, perhaps? You know, I know, Olga, you're able to kind of, you know, change your form or change the form of others on command, right?
We could go in as gas, yeah.
We can stealth, we can hide, we can change shape.
If Brodison's pretty sneaky as well, right? So.
Oh yeah.
Do we need to send a search party for Brodison now? What do we think?
Probably fairly soon, yeah. Because I think once we're inside the palace, like my thinking is there's going to be a lot of attention on the auction, right? So if some people can get behind the scenes and start infiltrating, like while the others are a front of house, you got front of house, back of house.
What? Yeah. So let me get this straight. So the route to the Eye of the God is through the palace. So Gram and Thorgren. No, which one's with us still? Sorry, Gram.
No,
Thorgren. Sorry,
Gram's gone looking.
Okay, so Thorgren, what part of the palace do we need to infiltrate? Like, is there a passage behind where the auction's going to be happening that leads us to the eye, or?
You cannot see, so let me just give you a little bit of a brief description of the palace. So from here you would pass it's not even a gateway, but without a gate. It's a gateway without a gate, but there are two towers with ballistae and garrets that keep a close eye, but they don't put the gate there because trade is frequent from the Amaratha storehouse. It's where the unrefined ore comes in, and they process it and bring the refined ore out, which then goes to the Dale, who pick the finest of the gemstones and then send the rest off to the other planes to sell. So they keep the best for themselves, the finest of qualities, and send the rest off to the other planes for gold.
So the thing I'm thinking about at the moment is we don't want to get in the eye of the god straight away, do we? You know, this is like we need to figure out what's happened to, like, that's our exit, that's our get out when everything's done, right? So there's probably quite a few steps to do before we need to get to the eye of the gods.
Getting ahead of myself, Chris, I'm sorry.
Once within the palace, there is a means to get to the Eye of the Gods, but there are multiple rooms. There are several parts to the palace. The merchant rooms, the slavers' auction area, where typically the layout is almost like a throne room.
So what I'm thinking is, right, we need to figure out where Boar is, right?
Yeah.
You know, because like we're assuming he's being held in the palace or somewhere connected to the palace. So is the first thing that we need to do to use this auction to intelligence gather, figure out what's what, try and delve behind the scenes and work everything out, and then if we can do that without breaking our cover, reconvene and then work out how we deal with that, because we're not going to be able to do everything in one go and then leave cleanly, are we?
I feel like the opportunity is upon us.
Okay.
We might have to seize the moment, because if you are able to get into the palace, there might not be another opportunity. The guards tomorrow is an exception.
Well, do you know?
This is an annual trade event.
Do you know where Borg is being held, or where he could be being held? Is there a dungeon or something like that in the palace? Because if that's the case, we can sneak out and just head to the lower floors or something like that.
Graham is most familiar with the palace because he's worked with them in the past.
Okay.
So perhaps he can give more information. However, neither of us, to my knowledge, has ever seen anything, but there are hidden parts of the palace that we're not allowed to go to.
So those are the ones that we need to try and find.
So let's just say, obviously we need a plan, right? It needs to be a solid plan, but we know what we're like with plans, right? It'll evaporate the moment, it'll evaporate about 5 minutes in. But if we got people behind the scenes and got people, to look at where the dungeons might be or something like that, then we need a reason for the rest of us to meet up if we're going to do the auction, allowing people to do what they need to do. And then we need to somehow figure out a way of meeting up and everyone being where we find the dungeon is.
Well, here's my thought, that if Olga and I, and if we can find Broderson as well, if we do the sneaking, we split the party in two, the other three of you stay in the main hall in the auction, we can send a message via a creature we find to let you know where we are. I'm sure there'll be some sort of bug or spider we can find to send a message to you via magical means, and then either we'll come back to you or you can come and find us.
Okay, I like that idea.
When the auction starts, though, is there a reason that we need to be at the auction room whatsoever if it's just our ruse to get into the building?
That's a good point as well.
Together.
Oh, yeah. We want the money for the jewels.
I think we may have more important things going on here.
Jalici and Odaf personally oversee the auctions.
So, what do we need people there to be?
So it would keep them engaged if we.
That might be the moment to strike.
So, are we attempting now to kill the deal?
I thought this was the plan.
How many people are there, enemy-wise, in the palace?
What's happened with Bill? Or are we taking him with us, or where do we deliver him to?
Kill them.
What?
The deal.
Boar.
Oh, Boar. Oh. Hey. Alright, no, Boar. If he is enslaved, then freeing him will surely bring us all to his divine grace and save the realm.
Yeah, once he's free, I mean, he probably won't need our help after that, right? We just need to restore him.
He's in there.
So,
seen him.
It's a good point, Trent.
Yeah, so if we were in the auction, right? Because, I'm just thinking, Drend and Lovak go in and they say, "Oh, we've got some gems to sell." And by the way, by the way, there's another trader from the material plane coming along, and I really don't want them getting this gem, and that's me, right? And then we get inside, and that's fine. After that, do we need to be involved in the auction? Is there a value in that beyond the gold we could make from it, or?
The auction is about buying slaves.
Oh.
Not selling your gemstones.
Oh, I thought we were selling.
This might be a means to get into the palace.
Oh, to show that we've got the money.
To show that you are of worthy lineage.
Well, yeah.
Worthy of the presence of the deal.
Yeah.
Well, that's
I don't want to end up buying a person. Please don't let that happen.
No, but there's
I know sometimes.
Right, if we could free them.
That's the part. Yeah, you could buy them.
We could buy one and then free them straight away. Yeah, I was dehumanizing them. It was terrible. I was trying to abstract it, but it didn't work.
This is
Yeah, exactly. It's problematic all around, whichever way you slice it.
Yeah, we could buy
But
a person and free him. That'd be a good thing to do if we've got access gems.
If we went in there and we started arguing amongst ourselves and it got out of hand, would they take us to the dungeon?
Aye, you'd be sent to the mines, no doubt.
Not via the dungeon first?
If it adds any help, I've been into the auction room myself. Just to give you a visual, as you enter, it is a grand chamber. And in the distance, there are two large stairways that go up to another level. And that is where the throne sits for Jerisi and Odaf. And they watch over all of the happenings of the auction, while the rest observe and bid. Once they are there, perhaps that's our opportunity, because they will not be able to escape.
Will there be many guards there? Or stone giants? Or slavers?
Perhaps the odd patrol in the chamber outside.
Oh,
and,
so we would have a real
and a
good
stone
chance of
giant. And a stone giant at each stairway.
So, sorry, just to be clear, are you asking us to attack the two people on the throne whilst they're... Okay.
And kill them. That's the two deal, right?
The resistance sacrifice will be to bring down that energy that they channel from the crystals. But bear in mind, it might be difficult to get you all in. So perhaps it might be wise for us to make the distraction on the Amaratha Quarter crystal before, or as, the auction starts, and then...
Yeah,
that might lead some guards away. I don't know. I'm not a strategist.
I mean, you're pretty
You're
good.
heroes. You tell me. You slay dragons.
I mean, we end up just out and out combat a lot of the time, so we're trying to avoid that if we can. That's why we need your advice on how the throne room's laid out.
He pulls out the map, right, and he starts to show you the city. He's like, aye, right, let's look here, okay? You can all see the map. And I'm gonna zoom out just for the stream. It's like, aye, right. Here's the palace. Here, yes? So if we can infiltrate the palace, that's step one. As soon as we got confirmation that you're in the palace, then we make it into the auction. There's other events going on, but later in the day, the main auction starts, and that is where Jerisi and Odaf will be present in the throne room, auction room, as I've just discussed. They are people of power. They like to show off. They like to think they are invincible, so they will not expect to be attacked by anyone as near as powerful as you. So that you have to your advantage, right? Then, we have the 3 crystals. We know from intelligence that we've gathered that these crystals have some sort of connection into the palace. So each of these crystals that hover above the city, the Amaratha Quarter, the Sapphire Quarter and the Bloodstone Quarter, you can see a fine mystical haze, a beam of light almost, travel towards the adjacent palace. We believe this is how they maintain their power. So, if we're able to take down, as you have made it at the time of the auction, to take down one of these crystals, and perhaps with your strength, the Amaratha Quarter, then that might send some of the guards from the Bloodstone Quarter rushing over to the Amaratha Quarter. And that way, the rest of the resistance can focus on the other 2 crystals. What do you think?
Okay, so less sneaking, more waiting for the right moment to strike.
But the sneaking is important.
Sneaking is to get up
to get in there. Yeah, to get
That's
in
phase
there.
one.
I don't
If
even
you can't
think
make
we
it
need
into
that.
the palace, then there's no point.
No, I meant
think
like we don't have
if
to
we're using
sneak
the
up.
gems, if we're using the gems to get us in, we may as well use the gems to get us all in because it'll show our
Yeah.
wealth anyway. So
Yeah,
let's
yeah,
just
so
leave the
we could
stakes,
have- we could have-
all get in.
We could have two groups
the
of
fight.
3. Yeah, turn it up together, and we could, we could pretend to be rival merchants or something like that.
Yeah,
you
with
know?
one gem each, can't we?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then while we're there at the auction, literally we just need to be somewhere near the stairs, maybe one side of the stairs each, maybe both on the same side of the stairs. I think both would be better. And then when the distraction happens, we sneak past the giant, go upstairs, kill the unkillable Deo.
So we try and sort of flank them in our groups.
And then we need to leg it and get out of here somehow.
Not sure about like this assassination.
But where does freeing Boar come into it as well?
Yeah, because we still don't know where Boar is, right?
Or does killing these two like lead to the Deo being in absolute ruins, and then we're kind of free to do what we want after that?
What about
Perhaps.
the crystals that are controlling them? Because we need
Yeah,
to.
I don't know about.
What was that, sorry, Olga?
Don't we need to disable one of these crystals so that they don't have the power, or is it a distraction? I'm getting
Both.
confused.
Aye, they channel
We-
their
we
power
need-
from there, so this will weaken them and make it easier for you to kill them.
That's the thing. A group of us are gonna have to go over to one of those crystals.
No,
Okay.
so the what was the name of the
new
resistance?
foundations.
Yeah, the new foundations will be doing that part of us. for
Right.
us.
Okay.
That might be a
Oh.
struggle for us, though.
We believe in you.
You have 100 men, women, and children. I have faith.
Have you ever
You're
fought
in
a
it.
stone giant?
No, but we're probably about to fight Deo.
With their full strength, but if we can take down the crystals, or one of
Oh,
them,
so
it would
So
disrupt
we
their
need
strength.
so what you're saying is we need to take down one crystal to help your people take down the other 2, yeah?
Our scouts observed yesterday, for example, the Amaratha crystal is guarded by at least 2 stone giants and at least 3 or 4 dwarven slave masters. There are slaves in the area who can support us, but the Bloodstone Quarter has Odaf's army. It's Palace Guard. So if we don't draw their forces away, then we might struggle.
Okay.
Okay, so
You can do that.
Aye, well, potentially. I think many will die, but it's for the cause. It's for the cause.
we can't be in 2 places at once, right? Like as soon as that Amarathi crystal goes, we kind of need to go for the Deo straight away, or do you think we have time to then traverse the entire city to get past everybody making out after what's going on?
In the
'Cause that seems
I do
impossible.
not know. In the potential carnage, there might be a way for you to make it. The guards might not let anybody into the palace. I do not know. This is unprecedented. Nobody will ever know that this is happening. There will be so much
We need-
confusion within the city.
We need to focus on the palace, I think. That's where our strengths lie.
Yeah.
But if it's a question of timing, we need to be able to get a message to you guys once we're in the palace, so that you
Mhm.
know that we're there.
Agreed.
How are we gonna do that? Are there
Get-
spiders
get-
in the palace?
Get one of your resistance people to just sprint over there.
As he contemplates and he rolls a dice,
Explosion.
one of the guardsmen at the entrance to the palace patrols the palisade up to the ballistae. Perhaps we can fire off a flaming arrow.
Yeah, some sort of signal sounds like the way to go.
Sounds good.
As soon as you're seated in the auction area, perhaps we can send off the signal.
mean, yeah, that sounds good. I was going to say I can create fire if needed, but it might draw a bit too much unwanted attention to us.
Do you have anything that perhaps, if the Amaratha crystal is the first to be taken and cause a distraction that would get the rest of the guards coming this way to allow as much opportunity for the rest to take down the other crystals, do you have anything that would perhaps empower us, all of this magical strength you have? Understand, many of us will die. I'm just trying to protect my kin.
I only have things that would last an hour. It's an hour long enough for you to get your things done.
I can give you some mage armor, and I can enlarge somebody else, or I can spider climb somebody, or I can morph one of you. Like I can only do like 2 at once. But maybe between us we can cover a couple of people that can go at the front because they'll be stronger or safer in some way.
Me and Olga and maybe Cathbad could possibly transform a few of you into giant monstrous apes that may have a chance to rip it down, but it would severely deplete us.
Turn you into a myth.
You really want to use that gas, don't you?
We might need that in the throne room, the auction room.
That's true. Yeah, we've got a couple of spells between us, but it's not going to protect 100 people.
No.
That's the problem.
Well,
there's got to be something we can do, right?
It was worth asking. I mean,
maybe we can get
us. We will sacrifice our lives for the good of.
I think some of us should go with them, especially the ones with magic, because they've got brute strength, but we've got magic. We don't need 3 magic people. I don't mind going with them.
But the Deo are powerful.
Yeah, we might need all of us against that fight, I think.
So,
we can just go home, right?
Where's Broderson? yeah, where's Broderson? Because maybe he could knock up some of his cooking and give that to the people on the guard post, and then they might be ill.
That could
Do you
work.
make any strength food or like special food?
Someone's been playing World of Warcraft.
Who?
Oh, not you? I thought you was like,
I've never touched World of Warcraft.
Oh wow, so they actually
Clearly I need to.
They do food in that literally gives you bonuses. To,
I
like,
was going with Zelda, man, for my stamina.
I mean, we've got liquid bread, so.
Oh yeah. Can we give him some liquid bread? Oh,
I'm sure that'll make all the difference.
do you want my cloak? What does my cloak do?
Honestly, I thought you were talking about that robe you had there. I was thinking, no.
Yeah, I am. Yeah. What's wrong? Just to borrow.
You have items that you can share that would empower us.
I've got a robe.
It doesn't work with those. They're not magic users.
Oh.
I do have a crossbow you can borrow though. You can have. If I talk about like, it's a slightly more powerful one, but it's not exceptional.
Could we bribe the people who are on the gate to just go away with maybe some sort of gems or something?
They're severely loyal. They are not after wealth.
I don't want to leave your people exposed though, Gwen, if we can help it. I'm racking my brain trying to come up with ideas.
I appreciate this, and it was a last-ditch attempt. If this is the only way, then we will sacrifice for the greater good of Jordheimborg. For maybe he will celebrate our glorious deaths.
How are you for weapons? I've got a scimitar you can use. I don't use it.
I got a staff and a quarterstaff. You can have one of those.
We have several warehouses around the city. with weapons. You've seen one of them, Drent Lovak. But yes, anything that you're able to spare.
I'm gonna
I got a lot of stuff.
I'm gonna hand over my scimitar because I never use it and it's just there. So goodbye, trusty scimitar. that I've
You're
never
just trying to
used.
get rid of weight. That's all this said.
No, I'm trying. Not at all.
What have I got?
Oh, I feel 3 pounds lighter all of a sudden.
What are you going to use to destroy the jam? The crystal, sorry.
We have this fine black powder that when you strike light against it, it explodes.
Oh yeah.
We're
Is that
hoping
gonna
this
work?
will bring down the shackles, but it may not. We do not know.
You have some of that for us.
I'm pretty sure I got gunpowder. Oh no, I don't know.
We have very finite amount. And we have already positioned them close to the crystals in the event.
Well, can you not do that without alerting the guards that you're doing that? Like, you don't need to get into a out-and-out fight with the guards, right? To blow up the crystals?
But you do not understand, some of these crystals are above towers. We need to use rope to get up to them.
Okay.
Is there any
They're on the
way
land
that's
that is
stealthily?
protected by...
Would you turn into a gas Olga and sneak up and deposit the explosives?
I would love to.
Or spider
Gas is
climb.
yeah.
I don't know if that's possible,
Please
but I would love
VTT
to.
me what the gas does, because if you could do that, I'm all for it, by the way.
Is my gas. What do you mean VTT?
So if you click the spell in the top right corner, you'll then see VTT, and it'll display it into the chat.
Oh, I can't see that one too. And I'm having trouble connecting the two with the extensions. I'll just copy paste.
So while Olga's looking into that, so are we thinking we take a gem each, split into 2 groups of 3, get ourselves talked in and say we're interested in buying some people, and then we get into good flanking positions on either side of the Deos and then take it from there, right?
That's what I'm thinking, yeah.
Yeah, because we can't plan beyond that. It'll never work for us to plan beyond getting in and being in a good position.
Yeah.
That's why I think we just leave the resistance to it. They've got their magic powder that they're going to destroy this crystal with. They seem to have a good plan ready for that. And then, yeah, we just get the signal over once we're in and we do our thing. And then what happens happens.
Let's go with that then.
Like we said, we can't be in 2 places at once, and we need our full power to defeat the Deo. Speaking of which, we need Broderson.
Okay, so
Some
I'm going
flying
to
clothes.
flip, as Broderson has actually just come back, I'm going to flip back to Gram running up the stairs, and as he runs up the stairs, he sees Broderson sipping a pint at the bar. And he almost rushes over to him, but composes himself and generally walks up and starts speaking to the mum. Broderson, hey, what are you doing here?
Hello, my friend. Would you like an ale?
We've been looking for you.
Keep
Looking at the bar. Keep looking at the barman. Where have you been? Your friends were worried sick.
I got lost, unfortunately, but I managed to find my way here, and here you are.
And what happened up here? Did you see it?
So, with who?
The barmaid.
I don't know.
Gisalda.
No idea, I'm afraid.
You didn't see anything.
No, nothing.
Aye, alright. Well, you better get downstairs with the rest of them.
And could you show me the way? Just a second. And Broadson turns to the barman. Could I have 4 ales, please? Sorry, 5 ales.
Sure. I'll get them for you now. As he comes over with 5 ales. There you go. Are you alright with them, or do you need a hand?
Oh, a tray would be fantastic.
He passes you a tray.
Gonna load the beers onto the tray and pick it up expertly with one hand. Do lead the way.
I need to go check on Giselda. Head down there and give a knock, and he whispers in your ear.
What do you whisper?
Yeah, just a couple of beats. So,
It was just one knock.
just one knock. If you do one knock, everyone will know now, so it's fine because the rest of your team are there. Yes, just head down, but discreetly. As he's even like shaking his hand, you got fucking 5 pints in your hand. Hi. At this point, he's too concerned about Giselda, so he heads off.
Gonna head down the stairs, and then when I get to the door, do the most elaborate knock that I can think of.
So the rest of you just hear a at the door, and you're all just like a little bit caught off guard by it. Thorn goes, "Oi, I better take a look at this one." And he heads over and he flips the hatch down. "Hey, who are you?"
Oh, Broderson, my friends are here, I've been told.
Jesus Christ. As, Boar! Blimmin' hell! Easy slams the door open. Get in here, come on. Are you trying to get us killed, lad?
Oh, not at all. The guards won't be back here this evening.
Oh,
Did
you've seen them?
you kill him?
Only 4 or 5 of them, but should keep them off our trail for the evening.
Did you poison them with your food?
An ale.
You killed 4 or 5 guards? Is that what they came here?
Oh, have the guards been here?
Deception check.
Ooh.
15.
Have you not seen them?
No. Chris, would you like an ale?
Yeah, I think so.
Friends, take an ale.
Is it? Do we? Is this actually Broderson? I'm just a little bit suspicious. It's just something feels a bit off. He's been gone quite a while. Is it just me? I don't know. What does everyone else think? He seems very cheery. He's not normally like this. It smells like Broderson. Okay.
What happened to you?
Who else
been
would you
up to?
think?
I just thought somebody might be impersonating him. He's always asking me to go and fetch things. He's like, Grizz, go and fetch cooking stuff.
Chris, I thought I'd bring you an ale this time instead of asking you to fetch one.
But why?
Why bring ale?
Yeah, why are you being so nice?
You're not normally like this.
No.
Perhaps you should be more like this more often, and then people wouldn't be so surprised. There's a lesson here for you, Brodison.
Chris, I always serve you food, and now I'm bringing you drink. I just want to make sure your belly is full.
I'm getting
grab a
more
pint,
suspicious,
Jose.
not less.
To the new Broderson.
I think what you're saying, Grizz, even if he is an imposter, you prefer this Grizz.
Yeah, there is that.
Broderson.
Yeah. Okay. What have you learned while you've been away from us?
The ale is good. They brew it locally, apparently.
Are you trying to be suspicious? Like, the ale is good.
But you said you'd killed somebody. I think that's more important than the beer.
Maybe one or two people, but
What's he up
to
to?
them, Olga.
Eh?
I'm not. It's not just me, is it, Olga?
Nah.
He's acting really weird.
Nah, he's being weird. What are you up to? Are you just drunk? Is that what it is?
Maybe the ale is very good.
Lovak, you say he smells like Brodison, right?
Undoubtedly.
I mean, it's a bit weird that you just went off on your own. I mean, like, I if somebody does that, I go, oh, that's showing some initiative. I expect them to come back with like information, details, right? You know, like you've been on a recon mission. You don't appear to have any information.
Although people have died in the process.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm just gonna go quiet a second and
Broderson, if you have killed some people, we've got a plan to run past you, and you might need some of that skill again. Get that boning knife sharpened.
Yeah, don't be embarrassed. It's sort of what we do.
Is there any food to cook, Cathbad? Do we need a full belly before we set out?
why are you acting so weird?
Aye. And you need food, Broderson. Aye. Bring some provisions as he waves over. It's like, aye, some of the stuff from the material plane. Bring some of that bread.
A few of the new Foundation's crew might need a last supper before they go on their mission. But... Oh, that reminds me, Broderson. I've got something for you. Actually, we got you a present while we were shopping.
A present for me?
That's right. Yeah, we got this. We were sold a real good deal with this. It's called liquid bread. Have you heard of it?
I've not, but I am intrigued.
Apparently, if you combine this with bread, it has some magical beneficial effects. Would you like it? Would you like to add it to your stock?
Absolutely, Cathbad.
Don't add it to the stock. No, not to the stock.
not the literal stock. Your stock of items, your cupboard. And I'm going to hand the liquid bread over to Broderson. There's no item for it. I just got a custom item. Oh, I feel a pound lighter now.
That's all you've said.
You are just clearing space.
You are so focused on the space tonight.
I just realised that when I was looking through description earlier, Cathbad's I put down as 140 pounds, and inventory carrying 130 pounds. So I'm basically like carrying my own body weight this whole time.
Yeah.
And I have been able to fight.
You keep turning into a bear, that's why. Or a
That's
snake or
true,
something.
yeah. Just blends into the bear.
I want to tell Broderson what our plan is, but I'm still a little bit. He's making me feel really on edge. He knows he's doing it. That's why I think it might be him, because he knows he's doing it, and it's making me feel really weird.
What's the plan, Grizz?
See? See what I'm saying? This is just not right.
There might be something in this other realmly beer that's making his head go funny.
Perhaps there's too much air in the right ale.
Yeah, we have had our share of strange ales. On our
That's
journey
true.
So far.
Or did he have a pint of numb tongue?
Probably both.
What does Numtown do?
It gives you a sore arm.
This is a strange realm indeed.
So you can't feel anybody licking it? There's some strange folk around here. Just stay here for more than one day and you'll see. Anyway, are we happy that we'll let Broderson into the plant now?
Maybe.
I think we're going to need him. So
Yeah, pretty much.
I think we're going to have to overrule your suspicions, Grizz, because I'd like to have the full strength of our party ready to go.
Okay, you know I'm happy to go with the will of the team. I'm happy to go with the will of the team, but he's acting really hard, and I
Daggis has destroyed you.
yeah, that's what it is. It's
I'm just
like,
realizing what this is. Daggis has destroyed you. Your trust has just disappeared.
yeah, I said at the time, didn't I? I said this will completely change the way I look at things, right? I did say that.
No, you said this will teach me nothing.
I also said that as well. I said both of those things. I'm very complicated.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
I did literally say both of those things. Okay, if the group thinks everything's fine, that's fine. But this is the strangest I've ever seen Broderson act, and he's been gone quite a long time, and he's come back with nothing.
How about as a compromise that Broderson is in your group of 3 while we go into the palace?
How is that a compromise?
So you can keep your eye on him.
Sounds like a good plan.
You can keep him close.
Okay, but I get somebody sensible in my group as well then. So it's you as well, Cathbad.
I mean, I
So
did
that's
suggest it.
Yeah, so it's you, me, and Broderson, Cathbad, and
Okay.
Lovak, Drent, which was going to be the case, and
with
the
Olga.
gas queen herself, Olga.
I don't like that in, but fine.
Yeah, no, it sounds dreadful. We won't say that again.
Alright then, so should we let them into the Broderson into the plan?
Yes, let's do it.
So they proceed to tell you the entire discussion that we've had up to this point. So
Wait, what was the discussion?
it's the same as the knock. So after they fill you in, what do you think about that then?
Do I get a veto?
Do you normally get a veto?
What the fuck?
This time
I'm going to tell you hundreds of men. Broderson's vetoed it. Sorry.
I mean,
That just broke me, though.
you're allowed to say so.
Sounds like a wonderful plan.
Do you have a better one?
I wish I did.
It just feels as though you have a better one.
It feels like you're sitting on some intel that means that this is a terrible idea, but you don't have a better plan, but you're not telling us. Or maybe Chris' paranoid's rubbing off on me. I can't tell.
So, Olga, I can assure you I do not have a better plan.
That's not what I said. I said you might have intel to know that this is a terrible plan, and also have nothing better to offer.
No intel, unfortunately.
Okay, alright. Okay. So we're going with the plan.
So you just wanted to get away from us for a couple of hours then, Brodesson? Was that the reason you...
I got lost, Gathbad. I was following through the streets. I looked around at someone carrying a pile of diamonds, and when I looked back, you were gone.
The old diamond pile. Yeah, okay.
I just happened to end up here, and up walked Gram. And pointed me down.
I'm not happy right now, but I'm not.
I don't think anybody could possibly believe that he has just walked from right down in the bottom tier and randomly ended up in this pub the same as us.
After seeing a load of diamonds, yeah.
We lost him, man, right? What, just after the entrance?
Yeah. As you split off, he disappeared out of the confusion of you both splitting off.
Yeah.
He didn't say he was splitting off either. It's so weird.
So neither of you knew. Like, you thought he probably was with
With
each
the
of
other
your
group.
parties. Yeah.
I feel like we need to get this quest done and maybe interrogate Brodesson after, or...
Interrogate. It's the dagger situation all over
Like the
again.
Daggis.
Got his toe!
That didn't help with Daggis. I don't know. For the...
True.
Cut his toe off.
Cut his toe off.
It just... We've got important tasks ahead of us, and...
Okay, but it's you and me together on this
Okay.
bed, so
Keep one eye on him each. No one bring any diamonds so he doesn't get distracted.
Maybe it was emeralds.
They don't look anything.
What
like
are you doing to me? I'm normally so trusting as well.
You know what it was, don't you? It was diamonds, and then as he walked into the Amaratha quarter, the green light changed them to make them look like emeralds.
Yeah.
Oh, that is a good point, Trent. That could happen, I suppose.
I am giving the most sarcastic look at you you could possibly get from my character, and I'm like, clearly.
If you were doing that against an
That
NPC, I'd ask
works.
for a persuasion check.
Yeah, you shouldn't need one. It is so blatantly sarcastic.
You just see, you just see Gram there, like, Thuggerin, they're like, sounds reasonable.
Well, at least he isn't kicking me into the mushrooms today, you know?
Oh yeah.
We need to highlight reel the mushrooms.
Just Brodesson in general. I think when our campaign's done, Brodesson's gonna go off on his own misadventures.
Listen, chaos.
Spin off. He's already got his eyes on one.
Alright. So, if we're all agreed on the plan, then perhaps we should rest up for the evening. And
Just thinking about that. Do we do it here, or should we go to a safe house, if you have one, closer to where we need to be?
As you say this, you hear the knock on the door, and Thuggerin rushes over.
My knife.
He opens the. It was the knock, so he opened the door straight up, and
Come on, though, that knock.
Gram
Doesn't know that knock.
is there with Gisalda. It's like, I found her. I took her out to the street to interrogate her, but they didn't have any information. But they were in search of Drent.
What?
Joe, we've literally kept our eyes on you. What have you done?
Wow.
I don't know which way is up anymore.
Is everyone
Oh.
such a liability?
All I can say is that when me and Gram walked all the way through the town and all the way up to the safe house, I was the only one they would have seen, so maybe we were spotted on the way because Lovak was
Right.
invisible at the time.
Well, that makes sense.
That does actually make sense.
Aye,
You're gonna
saying that,
laugh
no. They were looking for Lovak. They were looking for Drent and a hooded character.
Okay.
Because Lovak wasn't invisible.
He was on the way there.
He was on the
Oh.
way, but out of there,
But
Yeah,
coming
yeah.
out
it
the
was
day,
and
you-
it
you
was
fit in.
suspicious behaviour.
Yeah.
Aye. But I'm
Are they
okay.
going to be
I'm
looking for
okay.
you tomorrow?
I might be on their watch list now.
Well, I think
But
everyone's
I'm
going to be
okay.
on the watch
I'm
list
okay.
after
Slight
tomorrow.
scratch, but I'm okay.
Oh yeah, you okay?
Hey, thank you for asking. You're okay.
Was Giselda,
Thankfully, Gram came over and protected me. Incited the local law. They had no right.
these gentlemen don't seem to be particularly interested in the law.
No, but if you can catch them in the right way with your gift of your gab, it makes it very difficult for them. There's a fine line between torment and law, and subsequent rioting and resistance that will rise up against them, so they have to tread a fine balance.
Do you have courts here?
Sham courts.
Why do
They
you
are
want
ruled
courts
by
for?
those who are after greed and wealth.
I see.
But I'm okay. I'm okay. So, shall we rest up for the evening?
Yes, but do we rest up here or do we rest up closer to?
I feel we're safe. If Gram has come back,
Yeah.
it's fine.
Okay.
Okay.
It probably makes sense to just rest here rather than venture out again and risk that, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Alright then, and he guides you off to just some bunk beds basically. It's not the greatest accommodation you've seen, but probably make do for the evening. So there are actually 6 beds in a bunk bed area and then there's 6 beds in another area, but Gram Thurgren goes off to the other area. Says, "Hi, please."
Before we do head off to bed, though, I would like to stab Broderson in the back. No, I would just like to tell maybe Cathbert and whoever's listening, but mostly Cathbert, since he seems to have the closer Fey ancestry to me, about my most recent vision, which you heard Mike saying the other day, like 2 weeks ago, or 3 weeks ago, just so that I'm telling someone about it, and I can send you the information about it if you want.
Okay. Well, Trent, I've been head down in this cavern and this realm. I forgot that you were struggling with these visions, but this is good to know.
They're getting better, so clearly her potion must be working somehow.
That's good. We need you firing on all cylinders. I feel for this battle ahead of us.
Did we clear up that in the last session or not?
No. This was more of a story point I wanted to get across because when I get around to telling you, so basically I got taken from my home, obviously had my mind altered, went to the material plane, and the vision was of me playing with like an animal in a farm, and then seeing my parents, and then getting taken to the material plane and having my memory altered.
Okay. So that was the most recent one, yeah?
Yeah, I'll send you better.
Okay, cool. I'll just put it in.
And anyone else who listens. It's cool.
So you let Cathbad know that, yeah?
And whoever else was listening if they were about here. I just specifically sought out Cathbad because we both have the
Just for a random intrigue purpose then, does everybody else want to roll a d20 perception? Just to see if you overheard, and it's up to you then if you want to ask any questions or lie on here and ask another time. So that's Rodison, Lovak.
Novak's already thinking about eating children.
Did you type 19, Olga?
Yeah, sorry, it wouldn't show up.
And that was my 15 as well.
Screw rolling, I'm just going to put a 19.
I'm just gonna guess.
I guess good.
That's what your dragon does, isn't it? Mine.
Yeah. Grizz, is that 15 from you as well?
Yeah.
Okay, so all of you but Lovak hears this. Lovak has just suddenly seen the bed and is almost as excited as when he was in the tavern in was in Earthfield, Kuram, and he just flattens himself on the bed.
He's doing it to Rent.
He had the best room though, didn't he?
He picked also the most spacious of the the bunk beds.
Oh, it's required.
That's fair, right? Yeah, he's bigger than the rest of us.
Clearly the top bunk, so whoever sleeps under him, good luck.
Dreadnought's nail.
Are you a bedwetter?
What skills do I roll?
Well, he rolled a 1, so. Okay. So yeah, a couple of you have overheard that conversation, so I'm guessing nobody is challenged or asked anything. So, does anybody else want to do anything before they go to bed? Bronson.
Where are the dwarves? And do I hear anything?
Yeah, they are literally in an alcove to the just next to you. So everything is in audio distance here, unless somebody was whispering really quietly.
Did either of the dwarves hear about Drent's dream? Can I tell whether either of the dwarves heard about Drent's dream?
Roll me a perception.
Like that.
18?
You can't visually see anything, but you don't hear anything. So you don't know beyond they haven't sounded like they're talking about something. Actually sounds like one of them started snoring.
Okay. I'd like to No, that's fine.
I rolled perception for both of them. Yeah.
Okay. That's it for me.
Okay. Anything from anyone else?
Oh, good.
Okay. Anyone on patrol?
I can be. I don't need to sleep.
Always gotta ask.
Yeah, Olga doesn't need to sleep, so
I don't need to sleep, so I can be there. I'll have a go.
Keeping
just
guard?
sleep with
Oh,
your
you're
eyes
actually
wide
gonna
open.
have a sleep.
Alright.
Yeah, I was saying to Olga, are you actually staying guard or do you want to sleep? It's up to you.
Me?
Hmm.
I don't need to sleep, so I can stay guard.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think I just meditate for a little while.
I mean, you're in the basement area anyway, so if it does feel quite safe. The doors are barricaded.
They said there was an exit, an emergency exit as well. So, yeah, I think I feel mostly safe. I want to keep an eye on Brodison though.
And Olga, you do need to meditate some hours, right, over a long rest. You don't
Meditate semi-consciously for 4 hours a day.
just for a long rest, yeah?
Yeah, that's my long rest.
So you still need to have a little bit of a focused and concentrated mind for 4 hours.
That's true.
Still, only 4 hours.
4 hours is, yeah, a lot less than everyone else.
I can
6
set
hours
an alarm
minimum.
around us. If you want. There are 30-foot alarms.
You've got an alarm you can set on the door.
Yeah, can you copy paste here?
That would be really useful if you can do that.
There you go.
Nice.
I can do it against the dog.
Yeah, that sounds really good.
But like any creature, like I can
Or even a timed
designate-
creature, that's really useful.
designate creatures that will set off the alarm. So like
Is it going to be mental or audible then, did you say?
it's fine. You can choose whether the alarm is mental or audible. I'll put it audible
Okay.
so everyone's up.
I think it should be one ring, just to keep with the theme.
Alright. Okay, so you all drift off to sleep as Olga sets up an alarm on the door. So the night, well, you don't even know the time of day, but the hours draw in and
You level up. Uh-oh.
Oh no! What did you do?
Nah, that was doing a dramatic pause, Trent. You've blown the leveling up, I think.
you hear a crashing bang on the door.
No. Does my alarm go off?
Yeah, it should do.
And the door flings wide open and slams against the back of the wall, waking you all up as it ushers in the 30th episode, and I level you all up.
Yay!
Oh, yes.
But then, like, almost like time reverses on itself, and the door goes back, but you stay leveled up.
Hey.
No, but it is episode number 30, and I do feel like that is a really good milestone. You've achieved a lot, and actually, you know, between where you've come from with the dragon, Mozor, and now you've experienced a lot. So I feel like you've got a wealth of knowledge and experience that warrants the level up, even though it doesn't seem quite milestone from you know, in a like a, I don't know, victorious battle or something similar. So I think you actually all thoroughly deserve it for your storytelling.
Yeah, like, we've done a lot, like, plot-wise, right? The last 2 sessions of being in this town and making plans and stuff has been really like another side to D&D, as opposed to just fighting monsters all the time.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I've got a good
So-
feeling about this plan as well. I think we've
Yeah.
done good.
Did we complete the long rest, though? That's what I was going to check.
Yeah, so as you wake, you get that glorious feeling sort of stroll through you, almost like you felt the excitement of the lights and awe of the city almost energize you in a way that you've never felt before, that does actually take you to another level of experience. You've now captivated another plane of existence, which you never thought even existed until, but a few days ago. And that has just almost taken that time for your mind to comprehend this. And with that, it brings you a new day of understanding, a new day of knowledge, a new day of wisdom. And with that brings strength. And you level up to level 8 as you awake the next morning. But that's where we'll pick up next session. As you're
Awesome.
waking up in the basement of the Slavers Tavern, all together this time.
For now.
Thanks, Broderson, for your little random journey out there today.
He's definitely a spy.
Keep me on my toes.
Always.
Nice.
Great.
Whew.
With that, any questions?
No, expect lots of questions at the start of next session is all I'll say.
I'm
might-
looking forward to see what feats and everyone gets. 'cause
I'm just
level
waiting
eight's
for
big.
one of you to say, like, alright, that was kind of a bullshit explanation to why you leveled up. What's the real reason?
Because of the door explosion, right?
Totally the door explosion. No, really good story again, and it's really nice to be in a city, and like I said, it's always like completely random, some of the stuff that we end up doing in the city. I know a lot of it was talking to the resistance, but it's a point that needs to be done, right? You're trying to learn about the city, about how you can do all of this stuff, but yeah, Broderson definitely found a way to keep me on my toes with the knowledge of the local area, so thanks for that. But yeah, on that note, we'll just say thank you everybody for watching. We will be back together in 2 weeks time, so that for our schedule, which we're getting back into our regular rhythm again now, which is great, will be the 25th of October at 7 p.m. GMT. So just want to say thank you for everyone for participating tonight. Nice to see you all, and thank you everybody for watching. If you've liked what you've seen, please do hit that subscribe button on our channel, like our videos, watch our past episodes if you haven't seen them yet, and yeah, just let us know what you think. But beyond that, have a lovely evening everyone, and thanks again everybody for joining. We are the Conduits of Chaos. Good night.
Good night.
Bye.
Thanks, bye.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.